Hi everyone, today is Monday, day 23 of the Inktober challenge, and today's prompt is juicy. So I kind of wanted to really include at least one illustration of Frida Kahlo, and I find her super inspiring, and I do want to illustrate her quite a lot in the coming in the coming weeks, but because I wanted to include her, I looked at all the prompts, and this prompt today seemed the most suitable. So let's go ahead. Okay, today I think I'm going to do it in real time, and just because I wanted to mention something. So I'm going to start by, I had a few attempts previously, and I kind of liked 2 out of 3, and I think today I'm going to try and mimic what I have already achieved. And it seems every time I do the body shape first time in my little sketchbook or traveler's notebook insert, I seem to get it in one, like on the first go. And then when I do these kind of videos, I find that some of them are really mess up. That's particularly when I try to kind of create something specific. So I'm going to go for this basic body shape, and I think I am going to do the hair next. And I need a lot of space here because obviously the eyebrows are going to be like a feature, obviously. So I'm going to give her really kind of big, nice lips, and I'm going to start to do. I'm going to start with the eyebrows, just how I always do, like that. Make them quite strong and sort of straightish, and then I'm just going to fill in a little bit in the middle. So I don't want it to be like just one strong line. But there has to be a sense of monobrow. So I'm going to switch to my platinum fountain pen, which I ordered recently. And it's quite interesting because I have discovered this fountain pen by myself, but I have seen a few people that I follow on YouTube that do illustration or any type of kind of art, journaling, that sort of thing. They had this pen, and I didn't know what pen it was, and I actually ended up leaving comments on a few videos just to ask them, and I never got a response. But I then, when I was researching fountain pens on Amazon, I found this pen by just by an incident, because I was really ordering the platinum carbon ink, and then I saw that they also do a fountain pen. Now this one was about, I think about £7 I paid, so not expensive at all, and it's extra fine, and it's beautifully fine, you know, the detail you can get is beautiful. And the other thing is, I forgot I was going to do it on the lips, but things like where you don't want the ink to flow and you want it to remain quite sort of where it is, then that pen is great, because not only are you going to get detail with it, but you're also going to remain the line that you made. So it's beautiful. I love how it feels in your hand. It's like, I consider this cheap for the quality that you get. Look at that nib. It's so, as I was showing you the nib, the memory card got full, so I don't think you got to see it. So look how beautiful it is. It's tiny, it's cute, it works beautifully, it's got that nice gold kind of look to it, and the pen as well, very sleek, black, kind of shiny plastic. I love it. Yeah. So I would highly recommend it. I'll do a full review on this because I think it definitely deserves attention. So I'm going to go back in now where I've done the eyes, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this ink. This is the Lamy ink, because I want, when I'm going to go over it with a wet brush, I want the color to kind of move a little bit, and I can only create that by either doing what I've done now or just separately using a different ink. Okay, so roughly this is, I've got earrings. We're almost there now. I'm going to give her big earrings because I think earrings was a big part of Frida's kind of accessorizing. She loved her earrings. So hair is a little bit, I don't know, I'm just giving her like a little updo. She seems to have sort of a lot of updos. In terms of, okay, I think the flowers, I'm actually going to use this pen, and more for the reason that the ink is not going to move much rather than detail, because I don't want too much detail within these flowers, but I do want them to be quite colorful rather than move together and flow together with the ink. So okay, so I think I'm going to use the Scarlet, which is a red color, Dr. Paige Martin's Radiant. It's a super bright red, and I think that's like the best color to go with for Frida, because she seems to be wearing a lot of red lipstick, and she likes her blush as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So to begin with, I'm just going to start moving the ink a little bit. So the dress, I want it to be quite plain. I don't want any detailing on it, and I'm going to pick one side predominantly for the shadow. So I'm kind of using ink here as watercolor. By moving it and directing it, I'm creating shadows as well as light tints and light washes. So that kind of works nicely. Okay, I'm going to move on to the face. So as you can see, it has now moved quite a bit of ink, and if I just kept it with the carbon, I wouldn't get that much ink. You see, like I'm not getting anything here. Okay, so in terms of the eyebrow, I'm just going to give it a little wash. Even though it looks a little bit strong at the minute, I'm just going to make it move a little bit into directions. Okay, now this shoulder, I'm going to give it a little shadowing like here, like so. And then I'm going to move on to the flowers, and I'll finish off with the hair. So in terms of the lips, I have decided it's going to be red, and I'm just going to make it quite basic really. So blush is important. Now I have made a mistake of wetting the area underneath, which means it's going to pull it into her eyes now, or underneath her eyes. So I'm going to try and dab it off before it creates a mess, and I probably don't want her cheek to be too strong anyway, so I think this right now works well. Okay, so enough with the cheeks. Now I'm going to move on to Alpine Rose. I think that would work quite nicely. So I'm going to take Alpine Rose and let's see. I love these concentrated watercolors because they're really like ink. They're incredibly concentrated, and you've seen me since I bought them. I have been, just using predominantly them just because they're so fun. And I want to I'm going to blow dry this area quickly because I want to add some flowers on her dress as well and kind of connect the floral bits. Actually, I think that would look nice. Okay, so just going to create small flowers, nothing too intricate, it's quite basic flower shape, just because her garden and at the house where they lived, Casa Azur, the blue house, she loved her garden and it was very important to her. So obviously that inspiration of putting flowers into her hair and all that, it kind of, was a big part of her life, of her life as an artist as well. So that's why I just decided to actually add a little detail like this. So I'm going to go into the main flowers now, and I'm not going to be doing anything like trying to get lighter petals, darker petals. I'm just literally going to go straight into the watercolor as it is at its very concentrated state and just give her a little floral crown. I think that should be enough. Maybe a little flower suggestion over here. Okay. So I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to finish off with her hair because it has to be black. And okay, for her hair I'm going to use Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant, again Radiant watercolor, and I'm just going to go into it. Now that's the other thing you can do if you have a water permanent or resistant ink, and you do want, however, to have that sort of like a fashion illustration kind of look, a bit more arty, where the ink flows, then you can just take and mix up the ink or the watercolor separately, and that would give you the same kind of look. So I'm leaving little gaps between the flowers and the waters because I kind of like that, and I don't want the watercolor to flow too much in. Then I'm going to darken it up just around the flowers, just to give it a bit more dimension to the hair, and the dress probably as well needs to go a little bit darker. So here you can see I'm touching it slightly and it's flowing into the dress, but it's okay. I kind of, on the dress, I like that look. So to create interest in the hair, I'm just going to squeeze my water brush and dab the water onto the watercolor, and you can see now how it starts to bloom. And I'm going to use the heat gun, and you will see how the color changes. So here it is. It's quite pretty how sort of the watercolor goes around. Now the juicy part, it might be considered as a little cheat, but I thought I'm going to use my Wink of Stella in the clear color and I'm just going to squeeze out this lovely shimmery gorgeousness, and apply it onto the flowers to begin with. I do apologize about this incredibly annoying building noise. I really can't wait for it to stop. We're quite close to it now. Okay, so I'm going to now quite generously apply it onto her lips, because I want her lips to look quite juicy. At the minute you might not see much difference, but oops, clean it off on a clean piece of tissue, because it does transfer a little bit, as you can see, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to apply it on her shoulders like that. You'll see the difference in a second. It really does make a nice difference. And where else? I think hair wise, no, I don't want it on the hair. Maybe no, I'll leave the, yeah, I think everything else looks quite nice as it is. Maybe just on the side of her face like this. Okay. Maybe her nose a little bit. Right, so, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like. There you go. It's very pretty. It's a very subtle way of adding a bit of shimmer to your illustration and just making it really kind of cutesy. I like that look. Very girly and very sort of feminine and just pretty. I hope you can catch the shimmers. Yeah. So this is my, and look at her lips. It looks like she's wearing lip gloss. Isn't it fun? So this is my juicy illustration, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really like it. I think it's kind of really pretty. It's something I would like to cut out and maybe even frame. So I hope this inspired you to go and create your Frida, and if you do, please let me know in the comment box, or you can also find me on Instagram. I will leave the it's basically Alona in Fashion Love, the same as my YouTube channel. And yeah, you can if you want, you know, hashtag Alona's Frida or something like that. And I would love to see your creations. Yeah, let's hashtag it Alona's Frida. Okay, so thanks for watching and see you soon.